You have to start creating these boundaries with your time. And if you're not deleting or moving unimportant meetings to another time that's more suitable for them, it's just going to cannibalize your creativity. Some of the best and most exciting days for me in running my business is actually days where there are no meetings. I can be creative, I can go with the flow, and I'm not scrambled for time between meetings or because there's a meeting coming up if I'm in the zone. If you're a creative entrepreneur, you know this. When you get in flow, there's nothing worse than that little reminder coming up saying meeting starts in 10 minutes. Hey, it's Renee. Welcome to the Into the Wild Show, the podcast for women who want to build incredible mental strength to level up their business and lifestyle. I'm Renée Warren, the founder of We Wild Women, author, speaker, award-winning entrepreneur, and your host. Together, we will make you unapologetic about shining your light, growing your business, and turning you into a wildly confident and successful leader. This is for you, the visionary, the go-getter, the entrepreneur, and for those that need a real kick in the butt to get going and to dream bigger. Each week, I bring in leading experts and entrepreneurs to help you take leaps in the right direction, because I know the best advice comes from someone who has successfully done it before. So, are you ready to level up? Welcome to Into the Wild. Hey, you wild women. Welcome back to the next wild tip. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep calling these tips wild tip. I would love your input. The whole idea of these quick downloads at 10, 20 minutes is to give you the most value I can in such a short amount of time. So I know marketing, PR, what it means to grow a business. And outside of the incredible interviews that I have with my guests, I wanted to give you something that was a quick nugget. And so I'd love your input on what you think I should call these. So right now it's the wild tip. In my Facebook group, if you're not already a member, you should go and join. I put the link into the show notes, but it's Wild for Female Entrepreneurs. That's the name of the group. And I asked a question the other day about what I should call these episodes. And here were some suggestions, and I would love yours as well. So to leave a suggestion, just search for the group, put it in the show notes, click to join if you're not already joined, and then you can jump in on the conversation. But Christy Allen says, wild shorts, wild bits, wild parts, a wild quickie. Now, I laughed at that last one, wild quickie, because she laughed and everyone else did. And I thought, maybe that is it. Maybe it is a wild quickie. Angela says, what does she say? A wild world or wild women tips. And she thinks that's also funny, the wild quickie. And then Jill says, what about wild thoughts, wild wisdom, wild wondering? So anyways, go join the Facebook group. Let me know your thoughts on what I should be calling these episodes. So today, which is funny, I'm recording this on a Sunday because I head out to Florida on Tuesday to do a 2-day intensive teaching 3 incredible female entrepreneurs how to do their own PR. So if you've tuned in before, I have this awesome program called the VIP Day, where I do your entire PR strategy with instructions on how to do your own pitching so that you can get set up with an incredible world-class PR strategy within a week. So my work is done in a day, but I can get you with an incredible strategy that either you or someone on your team can execute. And yeah, these women hired me, so they're flying me down to Florida, and I'm going to do a 2-day intensive with them, teaching them exactly how to do it themselves. So anyway, that being said, it is Sunday, and I'm kind of laughing at the fact that I'm here doing this. My kids are out snowboarding for their last snowboarding day of the season. So I want to talk about the weekly planning hacks that I do to get ahead. And I noticed that when I'm not following the structure of this routine, I lose track of time, I lose track of tasks. Perfect example is at the time of this recording, it's actually Easter weekend. It's Easter Sunday. I forgot that my boys had Friday off of school. And so I went ahead and booked a normal workday with normal appointments and stuff that I had to do, of which some things I couldn't reschedule. So then my son asked if he could have a friend over for the entire day. And I always think, if my kids have friends over, they're actually easier to parent because they have somebody to entertain them. So I thought, sure. So William came over, but what happened was I lost track of time. And as William was getting dropped off, knowing very well that he has a fear of dogs. And we have a 7-month-old our chocolate lab. And he is full energy, amazing, rambunctious, and loves people, but he doesn't realize how big he is. So my husband was working out. My boys were, of course, they were on their iPads while I was having a shower. And I came downstairs to let the dog out to go to the bathroom, to give him a quick snack and to put him in his kennel before William arrived. But it was literally 2 minutes before they were to get here. And I was jumping out of the shower. I ran downstairs, dripping wet, covered in my robe, to find 2 gigantic pools of dog pee right at the front entranceway. Like when you open the front door, that's all you see. And not only was it that, the dog, Blaze, had stepped in it and walked around. So you can see all these dog tracks. So there's that. My kids were whining because I was telling them to help me clean it up. Then there's a knock at the door. The door opens. It's William and his mom. And Blaze is still there. And Blaze is so excited he wants to jump up on William. And I'm panicking because I'm like dripping wet, half naked, half cleaning up pee, holding the dog bag. William's almost crying. And the mom's like, oh my God, what can I do? So anyway, that really got me going. I was very angry about that because the kids had not been paying attention to the dog. They know to let him out. So anyway, when I reflected back on why Friday was so chaotic for me, it's because I had not done this weekly review. I left it up to chance. Yes, sure, it's just Friday, but I didn't take the time on the Sunday to actually review my week. And that's actually point number 1. So the Sunday overview, this can be 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, however long you want. I do want to take a moment to take a quick plug here to talk about my morning practice planner. So this is a planner that's undated, but there are spots at the top that you can write the date. Why this is important is because it's a 6-month planner with a weekly review and planning at the end of the week. So it's really important that you're writing in this planner every day. And the point of the weekly review is to reflect on the week, to reminisce of the good moments, of the big wins, of the things you've learned, and to look at your core value scorecard, but also take that as a cue that the next week is starting. And so I do my last day of daily pages on the Sunday and then my weekly review. And it takes me about 5 minutes to do that. One of the biggest things is looking at my calendar. What's coming up this week? What's due this week? What important conversations do I have this week? And then something else that I added that has been a game changer for me, looking at all of the appointments and meetings and really genuinely assessing what is not important, what can be completely deleted or moved to another week, even if I'm not that busy. Because here's the thing, you have to start creating these boundaries with your time. And if you're not, deleting or moving unimportant meetings to another time that's more suitable for them, then it's just going to cannibalize your creativity. And let me tell you, some of the best and most exciting days for me in running my business is actually days where there are no meetings. I can be creative, I can go with the flow, and I'm not scrambled for time between meetings or because there's a meeting coming up if I'm in the zone. If you're a creative entrepreneur, you know this. When you get in flow, there's nothing worse than that little reminder coming up saying meeting starts in 10 minutes. And you're like, frig. You know what I'm feeling. So the Sunday overview is important. The next step, I highly recommend getting the morning practice planner to help you with that. The next step, and is that actually an exercise that you do in the morning practice planner, is called to review your repeatable morning actions, right? So these are the things that you have to do every morning before you do anything else. It could be write in your gratitude journal, do a 2-minute stretch, have a glass of water, sit down and meditate, have a coffee, spend time with your family. Whatever it is a couple of things, no more than 5 or 6, that gets your day going. It's kind of like that trigger to remind you your day is starting. But these are things that you enjoy. These are things that won't cause you to have to be stressed out or anxious. They ease you into the day, and it's just a reminder that your body's waking up and it needs these things to actually get going. And so I always say, review your repeatable morning actions, even on the Sunday, to see, does it make sense for this week? So repeatable morning actions tend to be stuff that you do for months at a time. Could be stuff maybe you change every week. Who knows? But they aren't to be changed too often. The whole point is that this is the stuff that gets you in the zone for the day. So yeah, go check out the morning practice planner. And it's really great lessons, I guess, on how to create your repeatable morning actions, what to choose, and why. Okay, so the next one is your Monday OKR tasks. If you've ever worked with OKRs before, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but don't skip on through. I want to remind you. OKR, so what does it stand for? It's objective and key results. So it's a goal-setting methodology that can help teams set measurable goals. I have a really good friend, Jacqueline. She used this for the first time within her organization. And after a few weeks, it just started to open up time in her calendar because one of her objectives was to spend more time with her family. And it actually compounded to the fact that her business was moving with more ease and flow, and she was actually making more money because she started to review, and this is for your business, right? Review the OKRs. Now, that being said, is you can definitely do this in your personal life, but the whole point of this is applied in your business, get it working so that you can get your time back to focus on the things that are important. So OKR, an example of this is something like, I will insert an objective as measured by what the key result is. So the objective is the goal you want to achieve and why. It answers, what is your top priority for this year? Now, the key result is the metric by which you'll measure your progress towards that objective. These are metrics that truly matter. They're not vanity metrics. No, vanity metrics is kind of like how many followers you have. It's really insignificant. So this is how it works. So the key results is something like, if we achieve this, then the objective has been met. 80% of the time, it must be a measurable objective. You need to be able to tag each task with a done or not done tag or a due date, and only measure what truly matters. Here's an example. So say you have a software as a service or some sort of technology company. Your objective might be build a high-performance customer service team. Key result 1 is decrease average interaction per ticket from 3.8. The second is maintain at least 2 brown bag sessions per week. Third, decrease escalated calls from customers from 45% to 10%. So these are all very measurable. Another example would be increase annual recurring revenue. Key result 1, increase account renewals from 75% to 90%. Number 2, increase lead conversion from 20 to 40%. Number 3, revamp customer acquisition process. So your key results are anything you think you need to do to achieve that objective. See how this applies to family life as well. So if you go to the show notes, I also put a template for your OKRs. You can go and it's a really simple Google spreadsheet. You can just copy, make for yourself and start testing out the OKRs. So next up is your midweek check-in. Now, midweek is usually Wednesday. So I always ask myself, will I complete my success list this week? Now, when I ran my agency and I had 12 plus employees, I used Wednesday as a quick check-in as, will I achieve my results by Friday as I laid out for this week? And then I'll check in with the team. Do you have everything you need to be successful to wrap things up for Friday? Because Wednesday, it's the middle of the week, and it either gives you enough time to complete the tasks or it gives you essentially a warning of things that might not be completed and then to ask for help or to move things around. It's just a quick review, right? So I use Asana. So I go into Asana, check out what things are due this week. And am I on task? Do I need to delegate? Do I need to ask for an extension? Always be aware of what is due this week so that you're not falling behind, because there's the worst thing is trying to play catch up last minute. And then on Friday review. So quick review of your task for the week, anything outstanding. So this is the day I update my metrics. Every week I update my metrics. That includes all the marketing things you can imagine. Plus, I also run my financial reports. So I report to myself as the CEO and CFO. And the whole idea is to always be looking at what's coming in and what's going out. I can't tell you how many times I've found sneaky little, subscriptions I signed up for that I totally forgot about. Maybe they charged quarterly or annually and they pop up on the credit card. And so it's easier to get a refund or to stop the payment if you get it right away. So that's why I look at this stuff every Friday. And then I look to see if there's any outstanding invoices, all that jazz, and anything that I also need to pay. Because if you work with me as a contractor or vendor, I pay on time all the time. That is one thing, is I respect the people that work alongside me. And I just want to make sure that everybody is getting their payment as expected. So on my Friday morning marketing meetings is when I review these metrics. So it not only has to be done for me, but it has to be done to present to my marketing team. So while you think you need to constantly 40 plus hours a week, it's not really the case, right? And this Sunday review, the huge one, it allows you to kind of look at the week at a glance. If you're wanting to work 25 hours a week, but you have 20 hours worth of client or coaching calls, there's something in there that has to be fixed or changed. And you'll start to see this pattern of where you waste your time, where you spend your time. Like me, why am I recording a podcast on a Sunday? Which was my bad because last week I couldn't get to it. I don't want to have to do this again. I don't want to be standing here on a Sunday, which is, by the way, Easter Sunday, and it's beautiful out and my family is skiing. I'm here because I forgot to do some things that need to be done before I go away. So create those systems, create that routine, create the habit. Reminder, it's the Sunday overview, creating and reviewing your repeatable morning actions, your Monday OKR tasks, midweek check-in, and then Friday review. Was this a great week? Reflect on the amazing things. I think that's the most important thing, is always reflect on the good stuff that happened, however big or small, and really just allow yourself to ease into the week knowing what is expected of you. Okay, so last thing I would absolutely love is for you to go check out those links in the show notes to join the Facebook group so that you can get access to the community questions. You can ask questions, you can leave comments, and some really cool stuff that I'm dropping in there, as well as access to these Google Docs and sheets that I'm giving you as homework. Yeah. And the last thing is I would love for you to go and review. If you haven't already reviewed or left me any stars in iTunes for Into the Wild, I would be super appreciative of that. Until next time, stay wild. So there you have it. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Into the Wild. To make this girl happy and to help reach other women who are dreaming of starting their business, please leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and everywhere you listen in. Also, if you want to find me in the wild, check me out on Instagram at Renee_Warren. That's RENEE_WARREN. And leaving you with one of my favorite tips of all time: the best advice you could ever receive is from someone who has successfully done it before you. Until next time, ladies, peace out.